On Peschardt's Business People Asia, meet Ratheesh Yoganathan, joint founder of a company that's become a billion-dollar enterprise in less than 10 years.
We always say skills can be learned, knowledge can be acquired, but attitude cannot be taught. Either you got it or you don't.
This week we're going on a journey from here, the city of Chennai in India, to London and Europe, with a man whose business career spans the globe. Ratheesh Yoganathan is the CEO of the Lebara mobile telephone company, one of the fastest growing telcos in the world. It began by offering cheap international calls to migrant communities and overseas workers wanting to phone home.
I always believe that at Lebara we put our heart into it first before our mind. Then we do the P&L, we create a business case. If we believe in it from our heart, then everything else will be secondary, and we will make it happen, and our people do make it happen.
Ratheesh Yoganathan was born in Sri Lanka. He arrived in the UK as a 15-year-old refugee. He learnt English and gained a degree in aeronautical engineering. In 2001, along with two friends, he founded Lebara. He's since won many awards, including Asian Young Entrepreneur of the Year. I spent several days with Ratheesh. He showed me his operational headquarters almost next door to the Bank of England, as well as his very different other life in India. Lebara was founded on friendship. He, along with his two friends, Leon and Peschardt, were in Norway when inspiration struck.
On the way to the airport, I saw this really big building of Telenor. I was sitting at the back and I looked at it and smiled. And Leon saw me and said, "Why are you smiling?" And I said, to create something like that, a company like that, somebody must have worked hard. Because it was huge. And Karen turned around and said, "Don't you think we can do something like that?" But it was just a joke. I mean, we just joked around about it. And the conversation got serious. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? And by the time we got to the airport, we just thought, why not do something? I went and brought some pen and paper from the information desk. We sat around the table for half an hour and wrote up a plan. And that ended up being Lebara. So LE stands for Leon, BA Peschardt, and RA Ratheesh.
So they're the three friends?
Yeah, they're the first two letters of our names.
And you're still together?
Absolutely.
The idea was and is simple. Lebara is a virtual mobile network. There's no technical infrastructure as such. It relies on leasing space at wholesale rates from network providers, and then marketing and selling that space onto retail consumers.
Exactly. I mean, they all have built enormous amount of capacity on their network, which needs to be utilized by somebody. The mobile operators don't feel that they have the right distribution in place to get through to our customers. If you want to sell it into this Chinese community, we have Chinese distributors or wholesalers, and we have Chinese shops who can sell it to the Chinese customers and talking in their own language.
Ratheesh now spends most of his time in London. This, though, may well be Lebara's and Ratheesh's spiritual home.
Ah, this is so cute.
Oh, isn't that fantastic? No, to him. To him.
Welcome.
He'd wanted me to meet him in southern India to see some of the Sri Lankan refugees there. He's pledged to help. This would be a normal way of greeting? Or?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Why that?
We say that there's a humbleness, so you hold both your hands rather than begging, you hold it together. It's the way that we greet, the way that we welcome, as well as is the way that we pray.
Now, what's going on here? There's clearly a ceremony.
Yeah, they have done the recreation program.
Right. I think you are the guest of honour. Okay, thank you. Nearly 3,500 people live in this refugee camp. We were there for the official opening of a new play area sponsored by the Lebara Charitable Foundation.
It's been a great day. I mean, it's really emotional to see a lot of Sri Lankan people left their home country, living here for the last 20 years. It's incredible, in fact.
I also noticed that a number of people in the crowd very much identified with you.
Yeah.
Because you were effectively a refugee as well.
Absolutely. I mean, two things. One, I was also born in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
In the same part of where they have born. And secondly, I'm a refugee, or I was a refugee in England.
Because these people could have been you, really, couldn't they? Or
Absolutely,
you could have been...
Absolutely. And I'm very thankful to Europe, or particularly to UK, where when I came as a refugee there, and all the facilities that we have been given, and we have been looked after so well by the government. And a lot of people don't realize that.
So you were very much welcome to Britain? You feel...
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And I'm very thankful and grateful to the people, to the government, to the system that we have in England, for allowing us to, first of all, the freedom and the liberty to do whatever that you want to achieve, the education. And without that education, I don't think we'll be here today.
Obviously, you've done it extraordinarily well. What is it, do you think, that sort of set you apart? Because there are many, many refugees.
Yeah, of course, but...
I know it's a very hard question to talk about oneself in those terms, but...
Yeah, I think I don't know, is it luck or is it being in the right place at the right time? And for me, certainly one of the luckiest moments is when I met Leon and Karen in my life. And I'm not naturally an entrepreneur or a business person. I'm very good as an operational guy working for somebody. And if they didn't push me to do whatever we are doing today, I don't think I would have done it.
How do you go from being the operator? I mean, most people work for somebody else.
Yeah.
They go in, they start at 9 or whatever time they start. How do you go from being the sort of the good guy, getting something done, to actually being
the bad guy?
Yeah, well, no, that's not a bad guy. the bloke in charge.
I didn't know running a company is a bad thing, but no. I think it's circumstances. Circumstances changes people, and at least one thing that I have learned is that everything is doable as long as you really want to do it, and you try hard. Everything is possible. So nobody was born as an engineer or a doctor or a CEO. Everybody is made while they live. So, and I truly believe that.
After the break, more from Chennai and London with one of Asia's most successful young entrepreneurs, who's already given half his wealth to charity. Welcome back to the state of Tamil Nadu in southern India, where we're with Ratheesh Yoganathan, Chief Executive and joint founder of the Lebara mobile telephone company. In just 10 years, Lebara has gone from nothing to earning $1 billion in annual revenue. The growth remains extraordinary, regularly doubling each year. It's just been awarded the title of Best Virtual Mobile Telephone Operator and won the Asian Business of the Year in this year's UK Asian Business Awards. It's done all this without any loans from any banks.
That's how Lebara has been built, purely on cash flow. And when I say cash flow, people heard that word before, or they have studied at their university courses or whatever. For us, cash flow means we felt it. It's in our DNA.
Right.
It's deep inside.
So you've always got the cash coming in.
Absolutely. We felt cash flow within the organization throughout. We didn't have to study. We didn't have to do a finance course to find out, how does the cash flow works. So day in and day out, we knew the amount of money that came in, we knew our cost at any point in time.
And you'd still do that?
Yeah, well, I mean, thankfully, I think the circumstances have changed quite a bit, and I think the CFO and everybody else is on top of it, but still, till today, one of the first things that we see in the morning is our cash flow. Till today, you know, the reports are sent early in the morning. So traffic, the number of minutes that we have done the previous day. So while we were in the car, that's one of the things.
Was that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, I wondered what you were doing, yeah.
I called the office.
And how did it look?
Yeah, very good. I mean, we have grown compared to last Sunday to this Sunday because a lot of promotions are going on in all countries. Sunday to Sunday, we have grown 10%.
In a week?
In a week.
He believes the company is ahead of the competition as a result of its very distinct corporate culture.
Lebara understand our customers far better. I'm not even saying it just for the sake of it, and I truly believe that. The amount of time that we spend in the market, so if you join as a Lebara person, the first 2 days you got to spend in the market. Now I have brought in the new rule that every 3 weeks, 1 day, you have to spend in the market. Anybody.
What do you mean by that? So say I'm your chief financial officer.
Yeah.
Not a good appointment, by the way, but but say I am.
Yeah.
What would I have to do?
So once every 3 weeks, you have to go with the sales team or merchandising team. So you'll start doing posters on the streets with our guys for the whole day, or you'll start selling the SIM cards at the station or at the shops for the entire day.
So the idea is you don't lose touch with the end user. You're not.
Absolutely. And with the shopkeepers, you know exactly what is going on in the market.
We were actually on the way to a property about 100 kilometres outside Chennai, which has just been bought by the Lebara Charitable Foundation. Ratheesh and his two fellow founders have already pledged half of their shares in the company to the foundation. I'm just sort of comparing this to your world in the city in London.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't be
very similar, isn't it?
Yeah, very similar, but eerily similar. I mean,
Yeah.
it couldn't be more different.
I mean, this what takes me. I mean, isn't this great?
Well, it is great.
That,
it is
you know,
great.
like one day that you can be in those glassed offices, and another day that you can come here and relate to these people, and there is a sense of, you know, we are doing something for them and making their lives better.
You've invested half of your shares into the foundation, haven't you?
Yes, we have. I mean, I've given half of mine, and Leon and Karen has come forward and given half of theirs.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and but then the other lot of money, the other half, is with us.
Yeah.
So you still have a lot of money, you know, as individuals. So is it so bad? Absolutely not. So 10 years ago, I wouldn't have ever dreamt of having any sort of money, the amount of money that we have today.
Just down the road from the village, the foundation is building a community for 1,000 refugee children and their families. There will be schools and places to work. Ratheesh is hoping to spread a culture of philanthropy throughout Asian business.
It's very hard. There is always a feeling that if you give away what you have, who's going to help you when you don't have anything?
Yeah.
And I think it's completely wrong.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? Because, you know, there are a number of foundations, a number of charities that they don't always work, to be frank.
It's true.
They start off with the greatest of intentions and then they flounder. Now, why do you think that is, and why do you think this won't happen to this?
I think 90% of the charities fail around the world. And like you said, all the charities are started with good intentions, and they want to look after the children or, you know, elderly, and they want to help. But the thing is, good intentions isn't enough. You got to have business sense behind it if you want to create a self-sustaining charity or foundation. That is why you got all the, you know, we found a land with coconut and mangoes and teak wood and, you know, a lot of other fruits all around.
So this will create the income to keep the thing going?
To some extent, yes.
So the winner is Lebara.
We left India to be back in time for him to receive his latest set of business awards. He credits his staff for the company's success and has strong views about the way the workplace should be run.
I always felt that you can't sit in nice chairs and then give some old cheap chairs to your team. So from the beginning, whatever the chair I have, people will have the same. And when we moved here, we actually inherited from the previous owners about 150 chairs. So I had to go out. They are really, really expensive. And I had to go out and buy something like another 500 chairs up here so that everybody can, have the same chairs.
So everybody's on the same chair as the
Absolutely.
chief executive and founder of the thing?
Absolutely, why not? You have to remember, growth and motivation of people are chicken and egg. If people aren't motivated, you cannot grow a business. If the business isn't growing, people won't be motivated. So how do you do it? And in my point of view, I always put our people first and their motivation first, because if they are motivated, you can achieve any heights. And that's exactly what is happening at Lebara. We've been growing 100% year on year for the past 3 years.
While most companies tend to locate their call centres in lower cost cities and countries, he believes in doing the complete opposite. His may be the only company of its type with its call centre slap bang in the middle of the City of London.
We are in a Lebara's centralised customer service in central London.
Yeah.
This is where we serve all our customers from all countries.
Yeah.
And we got something like over 50 different nationalities in here.
You had told me about this,
Yeah.
but I'm still surprised by it when it actually confronts one. So you've got these people talking to everybody around the world, or how does it work?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the flags on the top. So that's UK customer service, there's Spanish customer service over there, Switzerland in there, you got Norwegian customer service at the back.
Well, we're stopping now by Switzerland, so these are obviously on the phone to customers in Switzerland, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The first thing that sort of strikes me is that you're right in the middle of the sort of financial district of London. It must be the most expensive place, arguably in the world, to run a call centre from.
I've heard that 1,000 times now.
Yeah, okay,
Of
thank you.
course. Of course it's
Always been known for my originality.
It is financially, I wouldn't call it draining, but I mean, it is very, very costly to have your customer service here. As you know, most of the banks or the telecom industry, they outsource their customer service to, some part of the world. But one of the most important things that we wanted to have was that we wanted to have influence over our customer service. When there is something goes wrong, we should be able to know straight away that we can do something and we can influence and resolve the problem as soon as possible to our customers. Lebara is all about quality, so we will not do anything that we as customer wouldn't accept.
But here's the thing: is I absolutely, and I applaud that, and it's marvellous. But for most people, providing that quality, the cost is too much. I mean, people outsource simply for the cost. Are they wrong? I mean, they must be wrong.
No, I'm not saying they are wrong or they are right. This is what our beliefs are. These are the ethos of our company from day one, that we want to provide high quality service. So if that is in our DNA, even if it is costly, that's what we're going to stand by. So what we do in order to sustain and continue to grow is that provide high quality of service so our churn numbers are lower than the industry.
Churn is the number of people who change from one...
Exactly, from one operator to another.
Yeah.
So our customers tend to stick with us longer simply because we provide a high quality of service. Even though he's taken responsibility for running the company, he makes sure he speaks to his joint founders every single day. They are fascinating and admirable people to be with. I'm not saying it because they are just my partners, but amazing human beings.
Because partnerships are difficult, traditionally.
Absolutely.
A lot of partnerships go...
Everyone said that to me from the beginning, and to them also. Like, look, I mean, there's 3 of you, and there's always going to be ego clash or financial issues. So from the beginning, what we did, one of the things that we do is that we have always taken the same salary. We have, even when we buy cars, we buy 3. When we buy watch, we buy 3. When we buy our houses, we buy at the same time. And when everything that we earn, we split into 3.
Is that a gentleman's agreement, or is there a contract, or...?
No, there's no contract. We didn't even have a shareholders agreement for a long time. It's just an understanding. Because underlying, we understand, sticking together, we are far more successful than we would have been on our own. Why not share everything that that you have? I mean, we didn't have anything 10 years ago. I was £2,700 overdraft in my bank account. And today, if you have built a €600 million organization, it's because we have been together, and we have been through a lot of hardships, and we have been through a lot of fun times. And I think more importantly, what is the most important thing for me is that I truly hope that we will stick together even in when we are 60s or 70s or till the end.
I'm sure you will. Ratheesh, it's been extraordinary, both in India and here. Thanks ever so much for being on the programme.
Michael.
It's been
Very
brilliant.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Obviously, I suppose, in this job, I meet a great many very, very successful people, but rarely have I met anybody who's come so far, so fast. And I've been trying to understand exactly what it is that makes Ratheesh so successful. Here is my take on it, at any rate. He is, of course, enormously talented and intelligent and works very, very hard. But this, I think, is the key. He has his own very distinct moral compass from which he refuses to deviate. Next week, a journey to the economic heart of Thailand with one of the country's leading female entrepreneurs, Chennai Fatarapsit. She's with me here next week.